What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 7 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Belegar Ironhammer campaign. So as we saw last time, Belegar's vengeful throng marched through the Badlands and on to Angrund, where we destroyed the Bloody Hands there and left them only with a single lord remaining. The faction is pretty much broken and will be done so as soon as Nubzub decides to attack something to his doom. In addition to that, we are now fairly close to 8 Peaks and are ready to begin our march towards it. Probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish turns to get there. Actually, quite a long way to travel. Hopefully we don't get a war declaration on us by then, but I suppose we'll see. In terms of what we gotta do this turn, there really isn't much. Let's see, nothing in terms of diplomacy, but there are a few things I would like to put into motion, or at least a few suggestions and otherwise that I would like to implement. First of all, I think it's about time that we stop not collecting the income. 1,500 money is not a lot, and I would like to finally build up this army as a full army and send it either over to SKAVEN or possibly down to the vampires as well to help these guys out. Granted, Geld has a full army here, but nonetheless I do think that he needs help. You can't actually move this turn, so that was all a waste of time, but I guess we're prepared for next turn. We are also about to finish the Masters of Steel and Stone commandment upgrade, which means further recruitment cost reduction, which means that'll be a great time to start recruiting. In addition to that, just to implement something that I did in my old Thoric campaign, which was also SFO, and that is, what I did was basically every single territory in the early game, well, I mean not every single one, but a lot of them are in the early game, had the, what's it called? Had lords like this, but by themselves, actually like this, like Alaric here, and they were all standing outside of their settlements using the Valea's Will stance to get the extra growth plus 20, and I guess the control can't hurt as well. In fact, at what, 225 per lord, 3 of them is more than you would get by not collecting the income. Quite a bit more, in fact, in terms of collecting the income, but it's actually more growth than you would get otherwise. So we're gonna switch it up. You are gonna collect income, and we're gonna summon a new lord here, or an old lord that we don't have to pay for. Let's say Grimly Quarrel Seeker, unless we have somebody... you have a little bit of bonus when fighting Vampire Coast, which could help. But it's only for you, it's not for the army, so yeah. Alright, so we'll summon Ancestral Blood Morgrim, you. And I guess the next turn we're gonna pop you into Valea's Will. Huh, I wonder, are you able to recruit in Valea's Will or not? It does not say access to recruitment. Would have actually been nice to recruit some units there. Oh well, we'll pop you into the stance next turn, and I believe you guys are now good. And in addition to that, well, I guess we can't do that this turn. There was a suggestion that I liked about keeping the miners around and essentially swapping them out a little bit with the Belegar's units when they need to heal up. Plus, we may actually need this second army on our march to 8 Peaks, as there are a ton of SKAVEN all over the place, plus these Red Teeth, Red Fangs, whatever, that are around it. We're probably going to be surrounded completely when we get here, so there may very well be a good reason to have the second army for a while, and it's not like the miners really hurt, so we'll be keeping them. We could also, since we have this, actually recruit some more Dwarf Warriors and some more miners with blasting charges. Now, I was going to set up the Venerate the Ancestors thing, commandment rather, so that we get the extra reduction on chance of plague spreading, and I still do like that. But we could recruit for at least a turn. Although, wait. How quickly can you move in regulars? Okay, you're in March stance. If you could move here, you could probably still recruit. Yeah, alright, fine. We're gonna set you up into Masters of Stone and Steel as well. And recruit for at least 1 turn. What's the recruitment amounts here? It is 5. Okay, so we can recruit quite a few as well. Nice. Alrighty, and then last but not least in terms of the setup, and I assume that I've not forgotten anything, We know that this army is going to attack somewhere, but we don't know where. So we're going to take Belegar out of Angrund right now. There was a tip in, I don't remember which campaign, but a tip that I've been using quite a lot that I really like, and that is just to take your armies out of these settlements so that they don't get sieged and then promptly are forced to suffer attrition or not heal up. And this guy is guaranteed to attack, so I'd rather not risk Belegar not healing. Granted, if he attacks a Dragonhorn Mines, this was a waste, but I'd rather hedge my bets against it, even if it ain't that much healing. We're gonna be moving throughout this territory anyway. And I believe that's all that we have to do. I guess what we could do is move you into... wait, do we even need to? No, we don't even need to. Angrund still has a garrison. Alrighty, I think that's everything that we need to do now, unless there's buildings to be built, which there isn't. The vaults aren't too happy about their control, but the construction cost doesn't increase at the next control level, so that's just fine. And in fact, if we put you, Constructor Furrowbrow, into Valea's Will, let's also give you a Root Marcher. Ooh, actually, maybe we should give you Rune of Speed. If we're gonna be using you to fight, no, we're not using you to fight. He's our Constructor, so we'll be using another Lord to fight. I think that's it now. And now we're ready to end the turn. Sorry about all the admin, but I've been meaning... Oh, wait, no. Now let's also collect income here. Let's collect income from everywhere. If we're building armies, we need to start collecting money again. And what's the public order here? Well, it's dropping, but we can always just swap it up towards not collecting income later on, should we desire to do so. Yeah. 575 actually isn't a lot, but it's fine. It's fine, we need the cash. Alrighty, end the turn. And let's recruit a little bit. The Bloody Hands should be dead in 2 seconds. I'm just really hoping that the Exiles of Khorne don't declare war on us. That's probably the worst thing that could happen to us right now. And Nubzub is going to attack. Yeah, it was a waste to move out of Angrund. But, you know, for those who don't know about the tip, I think it was still a good idea to demonstrate it or whatnot. And you... do we care about the garrison? I don't care about the garrison enough. I'm just going to auto-resolve it. Oh, are you alive after that? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, Alara, go hunt him down, please. Oh, I gotta say, that's a bit of an annoyance. Alright. Yeah, that didn't quite work out, but it's okay. And nobody else will be attacking us. What? Oh, no, you just want peace. We declared war on you earlier, and I think we're gonna keep that up just to maintain at least somewhat friendly... Whoa. Quest? Quest for Belegar's Hammer, the Hammer of Angrund. Melee attack +8, magical attacks, weapon strength, and more melee attack and stuff. Looks like a decently powerful weapon. Overall, it looks like 25% weapon strength increase, actually quite a bit more because of the base, because the armor piercing as well. Yeah. It's a lot better than his armor by the looks of it. That's 6 armor that... whoa, what the heck is going on here? Well, if it isn't a Plague Rolk. We could reach him. Would Orion help us with this? I'd actually love to force the battle, and we get free XP on Grimly. Can you do it in Valea? You won't be able to switch to the stance then. That's annoying, but I think it might be worth it. Oh well. Here's what we'll do. We'll put you in Actually, that's gonna take too long now. Let's march you down here. I'd like you to get closer to Karak Buftar. I think. Yeah. We can still recruit with Grimly if we attack this. And, ooh, we'll be able to watch these guys fight. I wonder if we get bonus relationship if we use them to help out. And, ooh, hello. That's another tiny little army, but that's obviously no kind of threat. Gelt should be able to take care of that just fine. Alright, everything over there is going okay. Next up, Belegar. We want you to either march stance or jump to Bitterstone. I think we'll jump to Bitterstone because it'll mean more healing as we go. Like so. Yeah. Alrighty then, Alaric, you should be able to one-on-one this guy without too many problems. Yes. Very nice, and free XP for you, and a free relic sword that you are not going to be keeping, especially because it's a sword, and the Dowing ain't so fond of weapons that are not tools. Hence the hammers and axes. You are going to go for Valea's Will now, just like the other guy, and you're going to move back to Dragonhorn. Like so. Although, is it as necessary in Angrund? Maybe. Maybe it is, I'm not sure. We also need to move Hulk in half, who did a great job fulfilling that grudge for us, back to Bitterstone. And then Scalf, we're going to move you in regular stance, and we're going to do a little bit of recruiting. So yeah, Masters of Steel and Stone is up. You're going to go here. And we'll see what the cost is on miners. Alright, 1100, 1300 for base miners with blasting charges. It's not so bad. Let's go 4 of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, especially since we're collecting income now. And maybe 2 regular dwarf warriors. Ooh, wait. Oh, wait, yeah. For a second, I thought we still had that 1 unit of dwarf warriors with great axes, but we don't have that anymore. That's in our other army. You can have 2 regular dwarf warriors in addition to these miners, I think. Although they are quite a bit more expensive. We could just keep building tons and tons of miners with blasting charges as a reinforcement army. Somebody did suggest essentially a sapper army for sieges with a bunch of miners and catapults. And it could be like a half stack, it doesn't have to be a full stack. Especially since supply lines aren't all crazy nonsense in SFO as they are in vanilla. You know what, 2 dwarf warriors wouldn't be so bad. I think let's go 2 of them. But the rest can be just a pile of miners, and as soon as we can get catapults, that'll be great. Alrighty, so you're recruiting. Now we're gonna have Grimly here attack Plague Rogue, and we'll just cancel the attack if Orion doesn't come help. A little bit annoyed that we can't use the Valea stance thing, but you know what? We can watch the Wood Elves, like I said, fight, so that should be reasonably entertaining. Oh wow, they have a nuke. Huh. They're probably going to waste the nuke on the Wood Elves. Oh, this is amazing. Forcing them to waste the nuke on the Wood Elves, though I do imagine that the cheating AI probably has infinite access to nukes, which is really unfair because it's so difficult to get nuke access in your own SKAVEN campaign, or at least that's been my experience. Just not enough warp fuel. Never enough warp fuel, people. Anyway, here we go. We'll do this cinematically. Alright, Grimly Coral Seeker does not want to make a speech. I guess he's just nervously standing in the middle of these woods by himself against an entire enemy force and hoping that the Wood Elves actually come in and help. Also, I really like this Dwarf Lord's getup, the two-handed hammer, the full faceplate as well. Very nice. Keep this guy around. Yes, just based on aesthetics, if nothing else. Also, kind of ironic that his name is Quarrel Seeker, and that's close enough to Arrow Seeker that it's suspicious that he's the one that gets to play with the Wood Elves. Anyway, we're gonna speed this up a little bit until the Wood Elves, our friends, get onto the field, and that'll be in 20 or so seconds. And here we go. Alright, they are there. Here they come. And immediately the enemy pops a Clan Scryer Clanstone, and on top of that, also immediately, the enemy decides to drop a frickin' nuke on them. I'm actually kind of impressed. Just as the Wood Elves move on to the field is when the... Ooh, wow, it lights up the woods very nicely. I never got the chance to drop a nuke in the middle of a wooded territory in my Scryer campaign. But there's still time to do so. Oh, but yeah. I'm very impressed with the AI here. This is absolutely what the player would do. Try to drop a nuke where the enemy is moving out from the from off the map, where the biggest concentration of its forces are. It seems to have basically destroyed instantly 3 units of Eternal Guard with shields. Unfortunately, there's no way that that's going to be enough. The Wood Elf units are going to be way too strong for their clan rats to deal with. And the inaccuracy of the nukes as they drop in an area does seem like it contributed a little bit. Would have been better if it had dropped here, most likely, and taken out 6 rather than 3 units. But still, a very good job to the AI. Alrighty, well, good job aside, the rest of the Wood Elves are now moving out of those, well, woods, chasing away a unit of Wolf Rats who tried to move into those Away Watchers and Eternal Guard, or Deepwood Scouts and Eternal Guard. And our single Dwarf Lord just slowly moving down this road, watching the action. Alright, here comes some more Wolf Rats charging directly into those Eternal Guard and Deepwood Scouts, but immediately are rushing out as that doesn't seem to have worked out so well for them. And that's just the beginning, as there are plenty more Wood Elf forces coming in. They're also going to start riddling the enemy with arrows as well. And now these units of Wolf Rats are in a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. And look at the charge on those Wild Riders. They move so damn fast. What's their speed at? Their speed is at 143. And that's pretty crazy. Yeah. And they do take a little bit of damage on the charge from these Wolf Rats, but these guys are damage dealers, glass cannon-y type cavalry, so not super surprising, but they look like they can catch pretty much anything, and due to their speed. Here come more Wolf Rats to get in their way, however. But more Wolf Rats are gonna charge away as well. And the rest of the main force actually moves towards the main SKAVEN force. Orion is actually just by himself up here, and just being a beastman, as he likes to be, and chucking his spears at the enemy, distracting them as even more Wild Riders come directly out of the woods and charge into the flanks of those SKAVEN slaves. Nope, those clan rats. The enemy is going to counter with some spell work via a Warp Lightning into the main army of Orion, but it looks like he's going to be able to trap them between two forces. That is a Gehenna's Golden Hounds, but it is silver. I think it's one of Orion's spells, I don't remember the name. Hounds of Orion. Shut up. Close enough. But yeah. Same spell as Gehenna's Golden Hounds. I could have thought of that name, damn it. Alright, well, regardless, it looks like the enemy is being very, very quickly overwhelmed, bombarded. There's a rat going flying by the screen, and look at the Wild Riders. Rats flying in every single direction. I'm so glad I watched this in cinematic mode rather than just allowing it to happen in auto-resolve. Oh man, the charge from every direction. I got a little bit excited there. Rat punting is pretty enjoyable. But now I have to take revenge in my Ikit campaign, so I guess it works on multiple levels. Anyway, it looks like the enemy lord is now surrounded. The Wild Riders are killing all of his minions around him, and the battle will be over. Just like that, the rest of the army shatters, and our Dwarf Lord never caught into the action. No kills, he's winded just trying to keep up with the Wood Elves. Breathe, that's the key. Anyway, let's speed it up. Oh, wait, there's another unit of Clan Rat Spears that's still alive, or it's still willing to fight, to some degree. Alright, fine. Let's watch the Wild Riders kill a few of those. And it does look like some of the Wild Riders are going to drop. These are spear-wielding Clan Rats after all, and they do have some backup in the form of those Wolf Rats. But more of the Wood Elves are coming in to help out. As usual, some SKAVEN will come back to rally, but now they've shattered fully. And there we are. Clan Angrund, a decisive victory. Alright, well done to Orion. Appreciate the help. Hopefully this increases our relationship, as that would be just great, as we wouldn't have to deal with all of this nonsense and those Wild Riders ourselves. Alrighty, well, Grimly didn't get too much playtime, but hey, it's free XP, if nothing else, and another 1,200 money, very nice. Almost tempted to get the Drink to Victory to counteract the control reduction, but 1,200 money is essentially a free unit of miners, so yeah, let's execute and loot them for now. Now, I take it that you are indeed unable to go into Valea's will, which is why we summoned you, but oh well, not a big deal. We'll start moving you back to Xerik-Zil, or wait, we could just recruit with you right now if we wanted to. Oh wow, 2,000 money. I did want to get a couple of Rangers and Constructor for Obrow's army. He has Quarrelers, but we don't have the other military building here, and we probably won't for a while yet. Let's also build the Granary while the Constructor is here, reducing the costs of it. And honestly, the Rangers are a little bit too expensive right now. We can only build one, unless we cancel the Granary. Well, you know what? Let's cancel the granary then. Let's build 2 rangers. It's horrifically expensive, but we can't have a nothing army. And on top of that, I also want to do the same thing here. Ah, we don't have any extra lords that we can summon, and no good ones. You would cost 400. The lord was recently replaced. Ah, yeah. All right, we'll wait on these guys then. I want more of these Valea's lords, just getting control and bonuses up everywhere. Also, guys, really appreciate the suggestions over the course of the campaign so far, so do keep them coming, as well as any, I don't know, army suggestions. I will be doing lots of different types of armies for variety, of course, so composition suggestions, and I'll try my best to get any name suggestions anywhere as well. Oh, that reminds me. There you go. If anybody has any better variation on the word companions, as in the something companions, that would work with Belegar's lore, do let me know. I really like the idea of them being his companions, as per one of the comments, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Anyway, I believe now we're ready to end the turn and go to next. So unassigned skill points we can, I guess we can skip. I mean, we could spend these, but we'll do it later. Skip that, end the turn now. And, ooh, wait, 1 second. Did that improve our relationships at all? Military action, does that count as a military action against Clan Scryer? I would assume that it would. We're a little bit more friendly. And we're also a strategic threat now, unfortunately, but, well, what can you do? Really need that non-aggression pact. If only we could join war against somebody. But alas, also Vidrioth and Arguelon both really don't like us. I'm almost tempted to cancel our agreements with Karak Norn. They're going to be dead. They're going to be dead soon, most likely. Although, would the other dwarfs cade us for canceling our agreements with Karak Norn? I'm not sure. If Karak Norn is going to die anyway, is there really any point to holding on to our relationships with them? 12. It's... Would we even try to confederate if this was an option? If they are down to Karak Asgaraz? Because it looks like Durthu's going to take Grimhold next turn. Would we bother with this? You know what, I'm going to cancel the military access agreement. Yes. And then just out of curiosity, so yeah, they don't like that. But what do the Wood Elves say about it? So, broken treaties with Karak Norn 3, and it's a lot better. Yeah, sorry, Karak Norn. I shouldn't have done any alliances with you in the first place, and take out the non-aggression pact as well. They're not going to survive. Durthu's going to kill them. They can't stop him. They can't stop the Exterminatus tree. And, okay, now they really are starting to hate on us. I don't want to cancel the trade agreement all that much, but let's see. Now cancelled treaties is up to 6, so if we cancel one more, we'll be up to 9, and actually going relatively positive with the Wood Elves, as in the regular Wood Elves. And it seems like the other ones are getting bonus relationships with us as well. Eh, fine. The other dwarves don't seem to care about this, and I just want to see that the humans don't care about this either. Let's see, you don't like our treaties with the Golden Order? Really? I guess it's because the Golden Order is trespassing in your territory. Ah, okay, so unfortunately Vissenland doesn't like us breaking treaties with Karak Norn. Alright, so I think that'll be the last one then. We'll leave the trade agreement as is until they die. Ally mission available. Let us go to... Who's the most likely to get killed here? I guess Anna Lowe? I'm not sure. We'll see about that one. Alrighty, that, I believe, is that for another end turn. Let's try to find ourselves on the way to 8 Peaks properly now. Let's see how much income we have after this as well, as we've recruited a decent amount of new troops. But it's about time that we have more than one army on the field. So I do feel like it makes sense. It might actually be nice to have access to a few Wood Elf units via the outposts. Just a few though. Ooh, hello, a caravan. I wonder if we can trade with them. And depending on if we're close enough to actually be seeing them from here. But we should have vision of our defensive allies. So, oh wait, no, we're not allied with them. Alright, well, either way. Caravan. We can't talk to you. Damn. I wonder... Oh. What is this? What is this? Anna Low and a little bit of an army. Okay, wait. Can we? I was hoping that we could use underway stance to jump here. We just can't get close enough. I do wonder whether this army would be able to kill this little tiny stack. It would be great if we could. Okay, Karak Norn is just running from Durthu. In fact, they're trespassing on our territory. And we're down to 3k per turn, which is actually not as horrible as I thought. Okay, you know what? We're gonna send... Where are you going? Where are you going? Okay, that's a little bit concerning. Stone Mine Tower. There's a lot of these damn Vampire Coast units up here. And I take it we can't talk to any Cathans. No, we cannot. Okay. You belong to the Jade Custodians. Alright, what we're gonna do is we're going to, assuming that you can't land here, well, I mean, you can, but, you can't travel very far in this stance. But I don't see us being able to do anything about that right now. Alright, fine. We're going to go jump here. And I'm gonna see if this discovers the faction for us. Alright, does that discover the faction? Yes, indeed it does. No trade agreement yet, but later on we might be able to get the option to do so. They're also trading with the Western Provinces, so we could get friendly relations with the Cathans for it, so I think that would have probably been worth our time. Next up, Belegar. You are gonna head down the road here to 8 Peaks. Let's say like that, just further travel along the road than you can jump with. And then, whoa. That is an army. Okay, I was not expecting that. And you can't go into encamps now. Damn. Screwed myself a little bit over there. Okay, recruiter. I would love for you to recruit more, but here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set you up into ambush so that so that only Belegar is visible. Hopefully this guy's brave enough to actually attack Belegar. I doubt it, but it would be nice if he could. We're still going to move out ahead, and we'll see what he does. This is the Crooked Moon Mutinous Gits. He might also just straight up ignore this and head down here. But maybe we can set up an ambush in that case. Why are there so damn many obstacles on the road to 8 Peaks? I completely understand. Alrighty, why the dwarfs are grumbling all the time, I mean. Let's see. We can upgrade the Scrat Mine to a Gorl Mine, which will give us another 150 gold per term, which ain't so bad. We could also upgrade the Granary, which increases gold by 50, but also increases growth and replenishment. And I guess we could build another one here as well. Yeah, fine, let's do this. And let's do this. Then... assuming that we're not going to recruit any more right now, although we very well could. It won't be this turn. Yeah, so just for now... Ooh, wait. Where is... Campaign movement range minus 25% for armies starting their turn in this province. If Varag moves forward, this would be quite valuable. Let's go for Purge the Urks. I really want to venerate the Ancestor to get rid of the Skaven Plague before it spreads, but, well, I'm willing to take the risk as well, to hopefully destroy this army, and especially since I assume that the Crooked Moon Mutinous Gits are still holding the 8 Peaks, so them losing a big army is also good for us. Alrighty, anything else that we need to do other than move Constructor Furrowbrow, who can't, I guess, get here? Let's try to see what the enemy's got here. What are we looking at here? We have 2 artillery pieces, 2 units of scurvy dogs, then the enemy lord, and the and this little unit of Sartosa militia. Well, it may be a kind of a weird episode in terms of the types of battles that we're getting, but we're gonna fight this one as well. I guess we don't necessarily need to do this one cinematically, though. We'll save that for the big battle against the orcs, so we'll just do this manually. And hopefully we can back off if needed. Alright, and we have a quest for this as well. Not that I'm expecting to need to get any of the Golden Order's units right now, but later on. Hellstorm rockets are better than any artillery piece the Dwarfs can build, so, yeah. Alrighty, now, You guys have stock, yes? Just to double check, yes you do. So we're not really scared of all those mortars. We just need to make sure that we... What's the best way to do this? We'll probably want to have at least one of the units of rangers move around and hit the mortars, whereas the other one maybe protects the... protects our lord. Will they move towards us, I wonder? I guess we're about to find out. Start battle. You're gonna move around. They will not move towards us. Okay. Huh. But they are moving somewhat. That might be because they're just... Yeah, they're just getting into position. That's fine. And, oh, you have Spirit Leech. Oh, that hurts a lot more than units would have hurt. I don't like that very much. Alright, you guys go around. Let's put you in the forest, then. Keep moving. Let's not get hit by too many more Spirit Leeches. Ow! For the love of... Yeah, that's gonna hurt. And very tired. Oh, does Spirit Leech hurt Vigor? Huh. And we've been spotted. Okay, that ain't great. And, okay, you guys... Okay, speed up to max. Okay, looks like we're moving in. My bad a little bit there. Go after those Sartosa Militia. The mortars are firing on these units, but they can fight in melee if they need to. And Dwarf Lord moving in. Go after those Scurvy Dogs. Actually, relatively likely to do decent amounts of damage. Alright, and speed it up to max. You head towards the enemy lord. You go after the Sartosa Militia after... Oh, wow, the ranger's getting wrecked. We can always back off, though. Alright, go after the lord. We'll deal with the mortars after. And actually, the rangers are sniping the lord fairly decently, who is now done. Go after the Scurvy Dogs, then. Actually... You go after the Sartosa Militia. And if we can cause this unit to rout, which will happen relatively quickly, should be good. Charge those. The lord is looking good. Go after the other mortar. And I know this is kind of dumb, but normally this is something that I would have auto-resolved. And let's see, will the Sartosa Militia win that one? Please tie up those units. Man, I didn't expect those guys to identify our stalking unit that quickly. There we go. Alright, that worked out. Man, we got a lot of value out of this one lord very quickly. Granted, it's going to take some time for the units to heal up, that's okay. We don't need to chase him because the enemy was in march stance. We got our quest completed. Certainly worth our time to use this lord as bait, since I guess he baited this army, and though Plague Rolk may have been baited by this army, I'm not sure. Or maybe he was just being chased by Orion, because Orion did move into our territory a while ago. And just to chase this stuff around, I guess. But yeah, clearly if the SKAVEN and these guys are building all these armies, they're probably going to come to our territory sooner or later, so they'll need to be dealt with. Alrighty, the Hammer of Karak Eight. We have a Hex, melee attack minus 40, and base weapon damage for 45 seconds in a fairly decent range. Oh, that's actually not too bad. Well, well, well. This was a worthwhile fight. We are going to... 8 Oath Gold really isn't that much. But then again, neither is this. Although the control plus 5 for 2 turns. And we'll probably generate... You know what? The control plus 5 for 2 turns might actually generate us more money than this would. Yeah, we're going to go drink to victory. Alright, so you've done that. Then what we want to do is lose you your axe. There we go, mission successful. Or you lose you your hammer. We are going to then pop you into Valea's Will, which we've been trying to do for a while now. And hopefully there isn't another army out there. And we're going to pop you here. You, my friend, are going to move into Valea's Will yourself and start moving closer. Like so. There's Orion. But if he's there, it probably means that there's no full SKAVEN stack to threaten us, so we're relatively safe. Where the heck are these guys going? It has me greatly concerned. Really don't want to start recruiting there. Oh well. Alrighty, now what we're going to do is we're going to give that hammer to somebody, I guess Belegar, who's not using anything. Alrighty, Belegar, you can have the hammer. And you can debuff jerks. Ancillaries, do we have any that are unused? Well, Teller of Tales... Huh, does anybody not have a Teller of Tales? Let's say you. Do you have a Teller of Tales? You do not. Control plus 1, swell. Might as well spread the ancillaries around a little bit. You, Teller of Tales. And you, Teller of Tales, go figure. Now that's all the ancillaries used. Yes, yes, indeed it is. Now we can just give the Relic Sword to one of our more fighty Thanes, which I believe is King Lun. And the reason I'm doing this is because there's a very decent likelihood that we get attacked by the Orky army next. At least there's something of a likelihood. We'll actually see. I'm actually very tempted to summon the Angrund miners. Well, actually we can't afford them, but I'd feel like if we don't summon them, there's a much more likelihood that these guys will actually attack us, so we're probably better off not summoning them. Alrighty, and then let's give these skill points assigned, and ooh, you have these things now. Or Deadly Onslaught. Alright, fine. We'll go with Deadly Onslaught because I don't know who gets what here yet. We definitely want Snipe for Rangers, but it also depends on whether we keep both of the Ghostly Ancestor Thanes in this particular army, because if we don't, then Wanderer is going to be relatively useless in one of those armies. All your other buffs are faction-wide, so you wouldn't need to actually do that. On the other hand, you do buff your accompanying lord, so more buffs on Belegar would be nice. And wait, just out of curiosity. Yeah, we could get 12 melee attack and defense for Belegar. And a fairly significant amount of extra speed, 20 extra speed. He wouldn't need doubling up on Grimac, though. That's one of the reasons. And then we might not want to keep them both in this army, and 6% physical resistance, say. Vigor loss reductions for hammers, passive ability Guardian. Effects... Wait, you don't have Guardian currently? Oh, wow, okay, well, we definitely want that. Effect range, affects allies in range all. So one of them has to have Guardian. Oh, there's probably a good reason to have both of them. One of them to keep Guardian, and then one of them to keep Wanderer. I guess Guardian should probably be on King Lun. I just feel like from a... I don't know, I just feel like he's more of the Guardian type, even though he's more attacky than this guy is. So I guess you can have Wanderer, Mr. Thane. And I guess then nobody's getting Ironbeard, but that's only for Dwarf Engineers, Iron Drakes, Iron Breakers, and Miners, very few of which will be in this army, though I'm sure there will be at least some. It will mean missing out on Indomitable, but I guess we can get it next turn. And Snipe should be quite useful for our Rangers here. Oh, this will also give you Vanguard deployment, which should be... Yeah, you know what, I like that. I like that because you're tanky, you're more tanky, and you're carrying our Rune of Spite, right? Yeah, so you Vanguard deploying in front of the Rangers works. So we'll give you Wanderer, and then we'll give you Indomitable, and then King Lun will have Guardian and then buff everybody up and stay with his ancestor Belegar. Lovely. Next up, you, Dramar. I would love to get increased mobility, but we are moving towards Zufbar 42-pounders, so that's what the way to go is. And Requisition for you to get extra ammo. And lastly, you, my friend, are going to get either Master Rune of Spite or... Well, the Rune of Negation could be helpful if we are taking a charge. Rune of Breaking gives us Sundered Armor Imbuement, which could also be very useful. 1 point in either one of these could be very useful. Increased damage, extended effect duration. Plus 80, wow. This could power up Belegar fairly significantly. This, however, increases the damage, even though it's slight, of our entire army. Now, let's get 1 point in Master Rune of Spite. We'll get these anyway, but I like the idea of even the slight increase in damage of the entire blob of Rangers. Anyway, I believe that's it. Let's skip the rest of this. I guess you don't need your skill, although you could probably use Root Marcher immediately to join the battle. Yeah, and move very slightly forward. Beautiful. Not like the enemy can reach us anyway. Let's see if he goes for Belegar. Please, please, please go for Belegar. You know you want to. Don't be afraid. Alright, there's Clan Moors. Actually, would have been nice if Clan Moors attacked them. And, something happened there. They're fighting somebody. Broken Axe is moving around. And, okay, Wood Elves didn't declare war on us. The Fey Enchantress wants military access. Yes. Give us money, too. Lovely. That's good because they're friends with Talzin, so that'll mean more relationships with the Wood Elves. And what do we got here? Crooked Moon, they are... Huh. That was the worst possible decision you could have made, Crooked Moon. You could have actually attacked. Raid any region belonging to Greenskins. Okay, I guess we'll give that a try. Sword of Cain claimed by somebody belonging to the Scourge of Cain. Kind of makes sense. Where are you going? Where are you frickin' going? I hate you. Why are you in this territory? Don't you have a lot of better things to do around you? Damn you. Okay. Okay, so here's what we need to do. Can you jump now? Yes. We're gonna jump over here. We might have to react to this. I was really hoping to send you down to here to Lucchini or something, but, well, it looks like this is where we're going. Down here, Constructor. Grimly, trade your stuff. Stay in your current stance, though, because this is why we summoned you. Like so. And then we're gonna start moving you back down to Xerixil, and we'll summon a few more lords to do the exact same thing. And, ooh, Karak ready to go to next tier. Very costly, but we'll do it anyway. And we'll just need to keep an eye on any new dwarf lords that we can summon. Alrighty, you guys head down here to hopefully see this off. Alaric, you need to go into Valea's Will, and then move back. Although if you jump away, maybe these guys will... Fine. I didn't want to do this, but we're gonna jump. We're gonna jump to here, because maybe these guys were going after Alaric specifically, but now they'll go after the border princes. Would be nice. Now, you guys can no longer move very far, so Belegar will kill ya. I guess we'll send this army in to help him. Not that it's really needed, but why not? Like so, and let's get a proper cinematic battle. There we go. Finally. Been wanting one this episode, and finally we got one. Belegar's stronger because of his hammer. Let's try it out, shall we? We could... I was about to say we could summon the Angrund miners, but we don't technically have enough money, so let's fight without and then summon them, hopefully after we get enough money from this battle. Alright, looks good. Here we go. Alrighty, here we go. Gonna get a proper battle for ourselves rather than watching the Wood Elves do the work. Now, we have deployed actually fairly far back, of course using this cliff as a pseudo wall as we like to do, but there's obviously a trade-off with deploying far back. Since we didn't Vanguard deploy, the enemy will be able to move its units in such a way that it wants to, as in not forced to immediately attack by virtue of being hit by a ton of quarrels at the same time, which gives them a slight little advantage. However, I figured that since the enemy will be moving towards us regardless, and we have reinforcements coming in onto the field, this one time we're better off not a Vanguard deploying. I did, however, put the catapult forward, the grudge thrower, just in case, in the hopes that it might draw the enemy forward as well, in case also the enemy did not move. But it looks like it will move immediately, which certainly works. This little idol there. Just gonna take a look around the map a little bit. Oh, is the idol two-sided because it's supposed to be Gork and Mork? I like that. I like that very much. Well, one of them gets a lot more decoration than the other does. Oh, and we got the bad moon down there too. Huh? Is that a dead bad moon beside an orky face? I don't know. Or maybe it's just Gabos doing Gabo things. Anyway, how are we doing now? One of the enemy spider riders has arrived. My bad, I got distracted by the orc idols, as I tend to do apparently. And the spider riders moved in, but also are getting absolutely destroyed. Being the only unit that was in range of our rangers, they were the only ones to get focused. Now here comes some Gabo wolf riders as well, getting hit by both the rangers and our catapults, as well as some pump wagons, which I am fairly wary of, and thus tell almost all of our units on one flank to focus down. The pump wagons go bye-bye, and it looks like we're ready to switch to other types of units. Lovely. Let's see whether the enemy can actually reach our lines. Now, the orcs are fairly unlikely to do so, just by virtue of the weight of fire that we have on our side. However, we have to remember that the enemy has a bunch of nasty skulkers, which are invisible by virtue of being in stock, just like we are. So they, at the very least, should be able to reach us. Over on the flanks, we do have more pump wagons moving in, and we did switch 3 units of our rangers to counteract that, and countercharged both with King Lun as well as our runesmith, to just hold these guys in place for at least a few more seconds, as they are the only 2 units that we have that are in melee, and we do have more miners coming in. It looks like these spider riders do try to charge, but do fail, and another spider riding enemy lord, or that's a goblin boss, does charge our Thunderers out front. Fortunately, Belegar has found him, and after a few hits, that big boss will be out of here. Sundered Armor dropping him down to 38, and his stats are pretty darn inferior to those of Belegar there. With some very nice stats, considering we haven't built him out to be a fighter at all as yet. Anyway, here come the nasty skulkers. We have sent our companions forward with the mighty Oathstone, giving them the extra melee defense and expert charge defense. We're also going to pop that flash bomb on those nasty skulkers to reduce their capabilities further, and pop entrenchment on the companions as well. Yes, this prevents them from moving, but they're getting charged anyway. I do believe this should still allow them to make use of their expert charge defense, on top of the fact that any extra shots from our own quarrelers, or rangers rather, hitting them will do a lot less damage from friendly fire. So I do think the entrenchment is valuable there. A Rune of Wrath and Ruin coming down, and this was just to try to get Belegar the heck out. As we can see, he dropped from 3/4 of his HP all the way down to about 1/4. The enemy lord came in swinging, and despite the fact that he had relatively low stats, well, after the, before the buffs, well, after the buffs actually he has low stats. Before the buffs he had 17 melee attack by the looks of it, and he hurt Belegar quite a lot. Damn. I was not expecting it. I sent Belegar directly to try to fight him, and it looks like he got very, very close to dying, which is why we're sending in rangers into melee to try to bail Belegar out. Hopefully Belegar can move. It would be really unfortunate to have him wounded right here as we get closer and closer to 8 Peaks, but it does look like he will be able to move through the press of rangers after all. Ooh, very close. 881 HP left, and here come our miners. Gonna get a few of those satchel charges actually hitting our rangers, unfortunately. They were supposed to target one of these units of nasty skulkers, but it looks like there were enough of them interspersed between our own rangers for that to actually hurt us as well. Otherwise, with the lords surrounded by rangers as well as ghostly units moving in, he did a great job, but he ain't gonna survive that. And the main rest of the battle will be here against the nasty skulkers and the orcs that are still fighting our companions. And there we go. And there we go. With that, I do believe the chain route is here. Not a close battle whatsoever. The ranged firepower surely told, and most of the enemies didn't really achieve much. Even the hammers really didn't get hurt. Really, the only one who got hurt was Belegar. Although I'm sure that he'd take some wounds for his troops. So, yeah. Really didn't expect that lord to hurt him so much, and that's why he loses his head. We're gonna get a few more shots with our rangers, but we don't need to see that, so we're gonna speed it up, and as soon as they're out of range, we're done. A decisive victory, and quite a few of the enemies do escape, but I'd wager that at least half, maybe 3/4 of the enemy army is destroyed, so we should be able to clean it up without too much trouble. Move onward, and that's another stack that won't be defending 8 Peaks. Ooh, alright, I really gotta be a little bit more careful with Belegar and not treat him as if he was one of the ghostly units and just able to wreck face without concern. Ooh, wow, 200 oath gold for that. Very nice, though. I should be able to get some runes next episode. I think maybe Well, there's actually a few different rune types that we probably want to get, but yeah, we need to get regeneration on Belegar ASAP, and I'll probably not send him forward at least a little bit. We'll probably also want to stay in our own territory for a turn to get him to heal up at least a little bit more. But anyway, we'll execute and loot these guys. And that army is pretty much done. We unlocked the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, which is decent, but we don't necessarily need them here. As in, we could put them in Recruiter Scav Hogmog's army, but the alternative would be to put them in this army instead, and they are a decent unit as well. Whereas the Angrund miners would be better in Belegar's army because they're buffed by his plus 100 ammunition to miners ability. Anyway, unfortunately with that, we're basically out of time. Next time we continue building up these armies and probably try to get a few more lords up and running. If every hold has its own lord generating extra growth and control, that might be decent. But, or not every hold, but every province, rather. I don't want the upkeep increase to screw us over via Valais as well. But, yeah. That should counteract everything relatively nicely, and it'll keep us with extra lords should we require them. Of course, in addition to that, we will try to make our way to 8 Peaks next episode. We're relatively close, though it does look like Belegar's gonna need to heal, so maybe we take Valais' Sorrow, heal there, and then use it as a base for our siege/assault on 8 Peaks. But we're certainly getting closer. Stay tuned for the writing of the greatest grudge. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.